Youth baseball players and coaches wanting to improve their level of play will need to tackle the job of the cutoff man. This higher level skill is not an easy one to master. One of the overlooked skills in youth baseball is the correct way to be the cutoff man. At the younger levels, we start by helping players know which infielder covers the bag and which is the cutoff man, and then progress by helping them run to the right depth, not too deep, not too shallow, depending on where the ball is fielded. But as youth players progress in their ability and baseball knowledge, coaches will want to teach the importance of cutting off throws while positioned in line with the intended base. Furthermore, coaches will want to teach them when to cut the throw and when not to cut the throw. That higher level awareness and communication takes time and practice. In most of these examples, the players are positioned correctly in line with the base the ball needs to get to, as well as at the appropriate distance. Let's look at them one at a time, beginning with the play that didn't line up correctly. These players are 10U travel ball players, so a bit lower level, but this does show us what happens when the cutoff is wrong. As the outfielder is fielding, it's obvious that there is no play at second base, and the throw is going to need to go to third. The fielder is very deep and should have a cutoff, but here we see the cutoff is in line with second base. Or, more likely, this player simply went to where he always goes to cut any ball regardless of the game situation. Had this shortstop ran to cut a throw to third base, that runner most likely would not have been sent to third base. But even if he had, he would have been out. You can clearly see in this shot that the ball is traveling much further than is necessary. In addition, had the shortstop been in the correct position, the third baseman, seeing the throw, and knowing where the runner was, could have called off the cut and taken the throw directly from the outfielder. But this type of skill and awareness level needs to be coached during practices, so players know when and how to communicate correctly. The rest of the clips we are using are from a game between Pennsylvania and South Carolina during the 2015 Little League World Series. In this first example, the shortstop dives for the ball, but immediately gets up, signals he's the cut, and gets in line with second base. Since it's obvious the runner is staying at first on this play, it is rather routine. But even so, every player should always respond to every hit correctly, so when the play finally is close, they are in the habit of being in the correct position. This next example, we have the same players involved, but here the play might have been close. Typically, it is the catcher who communicates how the cut should be handled. Each team may have a different system, but a typical method is catcher yells clearly and forcefully, "Cut 2." The cutoff cuts the ball and throws to second base. Cut 4, he would throw to home after cutting the ball. If the catcher simply says "cut," the ball is cut but held. A cutoff man might be expecting the play to be at second base, for example, but when he hears "cut 1," he knows the runner is retreating and where to go before he has the ball. If the catcher yells "pass," the fielder does not cut the ball and lets it pass. If the catcher says nothing, the fielder needs to determine what to do, and given the situation, a pitcher or first baseman might interject. However, at these World Series games, the crowd volume can be so loud that infielders will not hear. In this other clip we are looking at, the second baseman becomes the cutoff to home plate. Presumably the catcher yelled "cut" because the runner going home wasn't a possible out and no other plays were possible. Like I said earlier, the volume at the World Series games can be loud, and we see here that the second baseman checks the runner's position just before cutting the ball. The outfielder makes a throw that could reach home, but is low enough to be cut, which it is.